watching my dove and serpent tarot right now, catching up from a couple days ago. Fluid's running dry. Been gone for a few days, and I pump it up before I go on a trip, and usually it makes it back through, and it did. It's just dry as I get back here to the studio. You've seen me do a couple of videos out there in the world, some even on the road. I go out in the world sometimes. And I had a busy weekend. So I'd started watching my Dove and Serpent from Friday, but I haven't been able to finish it, and I'm just back on it again. And I see in my reading from 19 September 2025, Sagittarius, fire. I'm having trouble with the fire right now. I need to put a little bit of fuel on it, maybe throw some oil in there, make it burn hot and slow. Some people like that sort of thing. And I see in my path of the dove, and then there's the serpent. There in the path of the dove, maybe in the serpent too, but in my cards it shows that I have a Princess of Wands, and then in another spot a Princess of Pentacles. Ooh, you know what this means? Not what you're thinking. I'm saying Princess of Wands represents just a place where you want to dance in the streets, and you're going to take whatever comes to you. To hell with them all. Damn the torpedoes. Full speed ahead. Fire! And then it's okay. So then you've got the Princess of Pentacles, which she's, she's earth of earth, but there's some sort of barren feeling to it. Maybe she's a little bit older, and she knows she has to get there before she's 40, because she knows that she can have a 40% higher chance of having a Down syndrome baby after the age of 40. So maybe she's trying to do it before then. And I've never had a problem with the idea of having a Downy baby if I were to have one, a baby. They're very loving for life, it seems. And they're left-handed. So if you got to get around the side of the house under the eaves that way, you just send him up on the rickety ladder, and he just thinks he can do it all. And if something goes wrong, well, I'm not going to tell you that nobody will miss a Downy. That'd be a terrible thing to say. This whole thing is life is but a dream. This is an alternate universe. This is a different way of seeing a different path that somebody else might walk down and see other things along the way. Truly, I've joked for years about how I wouldn't mind having a Downy baby. That way I could raise it and practice doing tattoos on it and just cover his body in tattoos like the Illustrated Man from Ray Bradbury. And when he reached the age of 18, I'd just sell him to the circus as the tattooed strong boy. He could lift things up. I'm not going to pick up the weights. You don't need to see that, and we've only got so much time because I'm talking about Paul. But after you sell him, you're like, that's terrible. But no, there's a good thing. You might think I'd miss him, but the fact is, I can go to work after I sell him, open up my own tattoo parlor, because I'm an expert after 18 years of practicing and pulling all kinds of crazy wild stuff on somebody that nobody will believe anyway. Always keep them dressed. You say you got to do that so girls won't look at him and lure him in. But then after I make my money as a tattoo artist with my great industry and it goes franchised, I teach people how to become a great what do you call it, tattoo artist. But they have to understand it's like the very reason we don't eat oaks. They take like acorns, we don't grow them as crop. They take too long to mature. The fruit takes too long to come, and sometimes we may have the patience, but we don't have the time. After I make my money from my tattoo parlors, I could just buy him back after a while. After he's like 40 or 50 and he doesn't have that testosterone driven libido driving him, the urge, the rage for life, libido. The opposite, we go into Thanos. It's death. We slow down until we just stop. So you buy him in his Thanos phase. He won't be a problem to anybody. But the thing is, I got started on that because I'm talking about the Princess of Pentacles. If you look at the card in the, I don't know the name of the deck, Thos, it might be. Thos. It's not the Smith Waite, but it's the one he uses for his main readings. If you look at the Princess of Pentacles in there, you see little bits, little pieces of green coming up through this old forest that's all just rickety and no leaves in the trees type of thing. She's going down that road, but there are all the resources you need under there is the idea of the Princess of Pentacles. It might look dire, but you have everything it takes to move forward. And how is it that we speak of the princesses in my reading? Well, if you take and you look at fire from the Princess of Wands, and then you take and look at earth from the Princess of Pentacles, what do we know about some forests? Some forests thrive with fire on its seeds. So what could the confirmation card be? I hadn't even put any thought into it. I haven't looked at the whole deck, but if we got two princesses and there's something that's going to grow, it might just be the Empress for confirmation, but it could be the Fool too. It could be me running off in a direction in my timeline without having to go anywhere, just running off in a different direction as a nascent being, out to learn, out to take on a new challenge, this thing we call life. And the Fool would be the perfect card for that, because the Fool doesn't just run down a road and miss everything along the way. The Fool runs down a road and stops to see something and then becomes friends with someone, and they say, come on, let's go over here, and you go down that other way. It doesn't mean you're changing your path. If all roads are connected, that's a path in and of itself, no matter how many turns and backups you do. I usually burn bridges so people don't ask me back, because I don't want to be lured back into a sense of comfort. But rarely do I burn a bridge before I cross it. Here's to you, Paul. Thank you very much. And I want all of you to know you are the most important part of the Judas Serpent Tarot and the Judas Resurrection.